This is Etv Special Edition, and I'm Santayo Tamrat with this edition. Today we will focus on youth volunteerism in Ethiopia. Over the past decade, Ethiopia has been just engaging a large number of youth, millions of youth in different volunteerism activities in different parts of the country, and now it is just assuming cross-border youth volunteerism. And this has just brought the country a great deal significance in economic terms. And this special edition will bring you two youth volunteers here from Addis Ababa. Thank you for watching us, and do stay with us. A very warm welcome to you, Anania and Lika.
Thank you.
Would you just please give a brief introduction of yourself to my audience? Let me start from you.
Okay, thank you very much for having me here. It's a huge honor to be here. I am Anania Mugas. I'm a third-year law student at Hausa University, and also I'm engaging in different volunteering activities like the UNET, or the United Nations Association of Ethiopia, Hausa University chapter, the Medical Legal and Ethics Society of Ethiopia, and also the Merahis Gender Club of Hausa University.
And Lika?
First, thank you for having us. My name is Lika Sarautu. I'm currently enrolled in Ambo University in Political Science and International Relations. And besides that, I work at Ambo University Peace Forum, United Nations Association Ambo University chapter, and also Youth Alliance Leadership Development for Africa.
Well, Anania, when did you start your engagement in youth volunteerism?
So mostly I started in high school. There were many clubs in my high school where I involved in like peer tutoring or tutoring kids that are like fourth graders or third graders for finals, and also I continued this journey with me to university. So there are different clubs I participate in and engage in volunteering activities.
And yours?
More or less it's the same. I went to St. Joseph School. At that, there were different clubs where we did different activities in regards to protecting our environment.
You mean when you're a high school boy?
Yeah, in high school, there were different clubs that we enrolled in that worked on different issues like environmental protections, diplomacy, education, peace and justice, and different clubs. So this experience went to my university, and then I used to volunteer in different clubs and also different forums where they helped me to reach out to the people that needed my support.
Well, what is volunteerism for you, Lika?
So volunteerism for me is giving what I have. It could be in terms of time, in terms of experience, in terms of my education, giving that certain amount of what I have to those who need it, and expect nothing in return. And when I say that, it may be in terms of financial terms, but there are different benefits in regards to giving what I have to those in need. So that's my perspective.
And Anania?
Okay, that's a really good question. So volunteerism for me is a selfless act in which people engage in they dedicate their time, energy, and skills to benefit the society. They serve the society as a sort of fulfilling a social responsibility. So we dedicate our time and energy to generally share our ideas and knowledge and help the people who are in need.
You told me that you don't expect anything in return. That's good, and that is basic of fundamental of volunteerism. So what satisfaction does it give you? What significance does it have as a youth volunteers?
Okay, so as a selfless act, there's this sort of mental satisfaction that it gives you as helping others with, like, it's like a philanthropic activity, but you're using your skills and your time and your energy. So you get to learn, like gain many skills from it as you meet people, as you learn like different skills like time management, also leadership, teamwork, and different skills, and also knowledge, as it's a place for people from different backgrounds, from ethnicities, from religions, come together to help people as one. So generally, you get to exchange cultures, exchange ideas, share your ideas as well. So it's a way of gaining this good character. You build this good character and you actually help people through it.
Well, that's nice.
Mainly, there's a perspective in regards to volunteerism that it is a one-way road. But as you said, there's also sharing of different experiences, different knowledge, different wisdoms, and in this regards, we exchange different values. When we volunteer, we don't only give to those in need, but they also give us some type of skill, some type of knowledge, and some type of value that they have, which is diverse in nature. Other than that, it's mainly the smile they give you. There is a smile they give you. There is the happiness that they give you. It may be not equal to the money that they may give you, but it is really a good satisfaction. As you said before, it has a good mental satisfaction, and also it will give you different skills, different experiences.
And you just get introduced to different culture, because nowadays just volunteerism in Ethiopia is being experienced in such a way that you are working together with different youths that come from different parts of the country. Gambela, Afar, so you just share your views and their views, and your views as well as just their culture, and you also just share some cultural perspectives from your own point of view.
Yes.
Well, that's great. And my next point would be, what do you think are just the wrong perceptions or attitudes towards volunteerism among the Ethiopian community, as you have just witnessed in different parts of the country?
So basically, there's a perspective that it's wasting one's time, because as I said before, volunteerism is non-financial, it's volunteering, and you don't expect any type of financial benefits from what you give. So people in different parts of the country believe that when we volunteer, that it's more of a waste of time because we won't gain any type of financial benefits. But this type of wrong perspective is that even though we don't get any type of financial terms or financial benefits, as we mentioned before, there are different aspects that we gain from volunteering, and also there's different types of experiences and skills that we gain from volunteering. So there is what we call a wrong perspective in regards to volunteerism, mainly in terms of the financial benefits that we gain. But as she said before, we gain a lot that cannot be measured in terms of financial terms. We can gain the skill of time management, leadership, teamwork, and also if we want to change our country, if we want to change our world, we can get different wisdoms, different knowledge from volunteering. So it's related more or less in terms of financial benefits.
So to add something, so people do conceive it as it's a waste of time or it's a waste of energy since you don't have any financial reward from it, as Lika said. But basically, I don't think it's even measurable. Like the kind of satisfaction you gain from seeing people smile, seeing people happy, and like receiving their gratitude is much more reward than any financial reward. So and also people don't actually accept it as any kind of work. They just think that we just do it for in our spare time, but it should be something that you actually plan and you get a lot from it. So you need to actually plan and use that time very well, as it's going to, as I said before, you gain a lot of experience from it. So people don't trust you when you're just saying you're volunteering, or so there's this trust problem there, so trust issues, as why would you work for free? Oh, so there's not, from the society, there's not much good acceptance for volunteerism, but I think we need to change that.
So what challenges have you observed when you volunteer in different parts of the country?
So one of the main issues is time management. Since we are students from different universities, we have a lot of also other extracurriculars, and so our time is distributed. So we need there's this problem of time management. So you need to keep everything in check and be scheduled. And also, as I've said before, the society's acceptance toward volunteerism is the other challenge we've seen.
About just the logistics, financial and other constraints, does government or just any other groups that provides or organizes this volunteerism nationwide provide the necessary finance, the necessary logistics and so on?
From my knowledge, maybe some organizations give some pocket money for transportation or facilitate some transportation for people to go to the volunteering sites and for you to work there. But to my knowledge, I don't really think so.
So you haven't faced any problem like this?
Since it's volunteering, you're doing it from out of good heart. So maybe there might be some support from the organization or from the government, but to my knowledge, I do not.
On my case, I believe there is different constraints, as mentioned before, in terms of financial terms, because as she told you before, we are students in university, so we face different financial problems in terms of logistics, in terms of transportation, and different aspects. We face different financial problems. But as she mentioned before, there are some organizations that give pocket money for these matters, but there are still jobs to be done in regards to providing different logistics, different financial terms in terms of transportation, and in terms of different items that we use in regards to volunteers.
What areas have you been volunteering?
Okay, mostly I actually volunteer around the campus, around Hausa City. So we generally participate in engaging in the campus community in different areas, like the initiatives we're in. They provide opportunities for the youth to participate in and help the community. So, for example, we have a new project that works towards human rights. So we have a radio project that helps create awareness about human rights and also promote the protection of human rights. So awareness creation, also campaigns. So last time we had, by the Marahid Gender Club, we had fundraising and a campaign to collect sanitary pads for underprivileged women around the Hausa City and also in the campus. So there are different activities we involve in to help the campus community.
Okay, Lika.
So more or less she have said it all, but to add upon her, we have this initiative called Peace Forum. It's around 45 universities around Ethiopia. So what this forum does is building or fostering a good relationship between the community and the campus students and also teachers. And also in this regard, we have worked on different areas in regards to peace building. When there's different, as we have seen in different parts of our higher education institutions, we have seen different problems in regards to peace, and in regards to security, in regards to fostering a good relationship among students and also among the community members. So we have done different reconciliation activities, and also we have worked upon building a good relations between the community and the students among the students in the campus. And also we have worked upon different blood donation initiatives, and also donating different clothes, different services to those in need. So basically, these are the jobs we have done so far.
Okay, so when we get back from our news hour, let's just try to see it in a large scale, nationwide scale, and also just in a way that represents the other voluntaries, youth voluntaries. We said that we have also information that millions of youth voluntaries have been just engaging in this project so far. You have mentioned the major bottlenecks that might have just hampered the youth volunteerism in Ethiopia. And one thing that we have not mentioned is the major activities the youth are currently volunteering in the country. Can you just mention some of them to my audience? Okay,
so just to mention some, the cross-border volunteering program that has been recently started by the Ministry of Women and Social Affairs has been engaging in some different activities. Some of them are the rebuilding elderly houses.
When you say cross-border, that is just within the country?
Yes, within the country. So it's been started in different regions of the country already, and so they're building elderly houses. They're rebuilding elderly houses. They're engaging in harvesting crops for in agricultural sites, and also they've been engaging engaging in healthcare, helping in blood donations and other activities, and the others will be mentioned by my colleague here.
So there's also tutorial classes that were given to those in need, and especially in rural areas. Other than that, there is this community service that they have been conducting for about 2 months now in regards to planting different trees in this green legacy project, and also they are protecting the environment, and also they are, as she mentioned before, the major activities that they have been engaged in the past 2 months is rebuilding those houses in different parts of the country. So this were the major engagements that they have been doing for so far.
What are just your suggestions so that this youth volunteerism, particularly the ones that Ethiopia thought to be implemented as of next year, maybe border crossing youth volunteerism, for that to be successful, sustainable, and more broad, what do you suggest?
So basically there's this agenda that was set before by African Union, namely Agenda 2063, that states that there should be no border, there should be border crossing activities, different border crossing activities, and that African citizens should travel to different parts of the countries and produce different types of activities, and they should have a different type of activities that fosters Pan-Africanism in large, which regards that Africa should be united and prosperous. So with this regard, different parts of African countries should come together and unite to establish different types of services, different types of goods, different types of knowledge, experiences, and they should share it with the different brothers and sisters of African countries. With this regard, this voluntary activity will enhance the aspects of Pan-Africanism, thinking of a united continent, and also the idea of creating a borderless community, which could be in terms of the healthcare, in terms of educational background, in terms of political aspects, economical, and also social aspects. So with this regard, it will reduce, as it's well known, Africa is rich in youth. So this youth can produce different types of goods, different types of services, and enhance the technological advancement in different parts of Africa, and will be cost effective, as mentioned earlier, and will also enhance a prosperous Africa.
Ananya?
To mention some, so it does require some facilities to actually implement this activity. So we, as volunteers need some transportation, some facilities that need to be fulfilled for them to effectively engage in those activities. So I believe the government and also organizations, NGOs, IGOs can involve in such activities by supporting them and help them to effectively engage. So generally support and facilitate.
So financial support is one greater thing. And how about just one of the points or the bottlenecks that you mentioned so far was a wrong perception of the community in some parts of the country toward this volunteerism. So what is your recommendation on that?
Generally, I think the people and the society need to understand that people are doing this out of good heart, out of generosity, and out of good character. So people need to understand that we're coming and helping them and trying to help just out of the kindness of our hearts. So people need to accept and help their communities as well. So this is a huge platform for the youth to engage and to make changes that are groundbreaking, and they can also make different impacts using this platform. So people need to be more accepting of this activity.
As Ethiopia is just assuming cross-border youth volunteerism, particularly, for example, if Ethiopian youth are just working in Kenya and Kenyans come to Ethiopia, Tanzanians come to Ethiopia, Djiboutians go to Eritrea, and so on. So this is just a big opportunity for connecting the youth, bringing Africa's or East Africa's youth together and just plan about their future, talk about their future, the destiny of African youth, the destiny of the regional community. And so I think this help is beyond economic advantage beyond just helping communities. It is more, just beyond politics. It assumes all these things. It also just includes cultural exchanges.
Yes.
Okay, so this is just it might create a big platform for those youths that are just participating here and just envisioning their future development. So that's a very nice idea. And one last point that we need to raise is using this effort from the youth for peace building. We know that most of the African countries have got some conflicts, and youth are vulnerable in being part of these conflicts. So if youth are not just contributing to this, for example, rebel groups or so, in most parts of the continent, countries will be peaceful. So what's your message for the youth, particularly I can say for African youth, to be engaged in this volunteerism as well as just be ambassadors of African peace?
So what I believe is that there is no way to peace. Peace is the only way we can go. So if I work for my country, I will work. It means I work for the continent. I'm building my home, because Ethiopia is not my only home. Africa is also my home. So if I work for Ethiopia, I'm working for East Africa or other parts of African countries. So I'm building my home. As you mentioned earlier, the youth are the vulnerable for this violence in different parts of the country as well as the continent. So what I urge as a youth is the youth should come forward, and it's not the topic of other people, it's the topic of the youth. All topics related to peace is the topic of the youth. So the youth should come together and talk and work to enhance and foster good relations with their society, and also foster good relations with different parts of the country as well as the continent. So the youth should come together, work together, and they should work and unite in one aspect and aspire for a united, prosperous, and very peaceful African continent at large. So the youth should come together, and I urge to all my brothers and sisters in the country as well as the continent to come together and to work for a prosperous as well as a united Africa.
Anania.
Okay, thank you. So this is a really good question. So I think the youth have been forces of change at any point of history, and now too. So they're the ones who we need to rely on for any peaceful undertaking. So I believe that young people have been the matches for revolutions and the fire that keeps the flames burning. And also they're the ones to rely on and to put out any fire of hate. So with our world, with our country, with our continent being caught up with different crises, different war, or any the pandemic and different crises. So the peace are the ones we need to turn to for to tackle these obstacles that our continent and our country is facing. So I believe that we need to encourage and empower the youth. We need to use this fresh resource. As Africa is blessed with this huge demography of youth, we depending on where their energy lies, either can destroy or prosper us. So I believe we need to turn our attentions to the youth and give them the opportunity, the platform, and the stage for them to actually how do you say it, like blossom into the energy that they're creating. So we need to give them the chance, we need to give them the opportunity, we need to give them the platform for them to engage and create a prosperous country and a prosperous continent we all aspire to have.
Youth have also the potential just to influence their peers through awareness creation and so on. So I think just governments of African nations must work on the youth to help other youth to change the minds, the attitudes of 70% of the continent's population is youth. So governments must just make this force for development and prosperity of the continent, but peace is fundamental for that. Thank you so much for coming to ETV English and sharing your experiences on youth volunteerism. I really appreciate Lika and Anania.
Thank you very much for having us. It's a huge honor.
Dear viewers, this is a conversation with Anania Moges and Lika Saraito, who are just university students and youth volunteers as well. They shared their views into Ethiopia's youth volunteerism so far and contributions of the youth in youth volunteerism in different parts of the country and in different sectors as well. They also just shared their insights into what if these millions of youth engage in peace building in Africa. Thank you so much for watching us, and see you another time. I'm Santayo Tamrat with this special edition.